Hello there my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to address a common question I get about beginning crochet and whether to start with a magic ring or a slip knot and why and how to do each one. So let's get started. Okay, so the first type of stitch or knot that we would use to get started with crochet would be the slip knot. So this is what you're going to use if you're working back and forth in rows. And most patterns will tell you what to begin with, whether that be a slip knot or a magic ring, but some might not. You might be starting your own thing. So usually you're going to start with a slip knot. So how we're going to do this, there's a few ways you can do this, but how I like to teach it in my intro to crochet class is take 2 fingers on your left hand. If you're left-handed, you can switch every time I say left to right and vice versa, or you can try it this way. Okay, so take 2 fingers on your left hand, take the very tail in your right hand, throw the tail over the back of your fingers like that, bring it forward underneath your fingers, throw it over the back of your fingers again, making an X there on your palm side of your fingers. So then you're going to see 2 loops at the top of your fingers here. One's going to be closer to your fingertips, other loop's going to be closer to your palm. So lift the loop that's closer to your fingertips, lift it towards your palm, up over the other one, up over it like that, so that you can grab this one that was closer to your palm. So grab that one, hook your finger in it, or thumb, whatever, just kind of grab it without grabbing it by hooking it. Then don't pull on any strings yet, but remove your left hand 2 fingers. Okay, so then we've got what we've hooked, and then we've got a tail, and we've got our working yarn here. So we're just going to take both of those and pull straight down on them. And since you weren't holding this here, it allowed that to slip and it allowed it to make a knot. So then when you pull on the tail, you can get this to slip even smaller. So that's why it's called a slip knot. You can slip it to change the size of it. If you want it bigger again, you can pull some out, and that comes from the tail. So this is what you would typically use to get started in any crochet or knitting project that isn't crocheted in the round. Even if it is crocheted in the round, you might start with a slip knot. So that's that. And then when you are ready to get started, you would put your hook into the slip knot and tighten it down, not all the way, about like that, where you can envision like another crochet hook could fit in there. That's about how tight you want it on the hook. Okay, so that's the slip knot. So then you'd be ready to go from here, set up your tension in your left hand, and just start chaining or whatever it is you're going to do. Okay, so let's go back. Let's take that out. And now let's do a magic ring. So same thing, you're going to take 2 fingers on your left hand like this. You're going to take the tail in, the very tail in your right hand, throw it over the back once, throw it over the back again, not crossing. And then this is optional, you can do 2 or 3 wraps. I'm going to do 3. Okay, so we have went over the back 3 times. There's the tail. So now you're going to take your crochet hook, and I'm kind of holding these all down. Take your crochet hook into the 2 loops that are closer to the fingertips, like this. Go all the way in and grab that one that's closer to the palm, this loop, and bring that loop through the other 2 like that, like you're chaining. Okay, so now we've done that. So now we have to really make this locked in. So you're going to take your thumb to flick your working yarn up so that your hook can reach it, so that you can chain with it and do 1 real chain, which locks it in. So then you can take your fingers out, but don't mess up your ring. This is your ring. So there it is, that's the magic ring. So now we can work into this ring. So this is what you would use if you're doing something in the round where you want this ring to be able to completely disappear. The slip knot is fine, but there will always be a little tiny hole at the center of your project. So like amigurumi, like this. So I started here with a magic ring, and you can see there's not an opening because I tightened that magic ring all the way down. So this is going to be a pickle amigurumi. This is from our brand new organic cotton sport weight. Then this is the Malabrigo Rasta that is nice and thick, and I recommend this for beginners, especially when you're first getting started with crochet. You can really see what you're doing easily with this nice thick yarn. So you can get either this Malabrigo Rasta or this Organic Cotton Sport on our website, shoppindrop.com. Okay, so let's get back to the magic ring. So here it is. So now, let's say we're gonna do, let's say our pattern says to do, I don't know, 8 double crochets into the ring. So see how I'm keeping my fingers in this ring, and I have my tension on my left hand still. So you just always want to keep your ring intact, and all your stitches are going to go down through the ring. So I'm going to chain 2 just to get started to be my first fake double crochet. You know how you chain a few and that counts as your first double crochet. So let's call that a double crochet. So now let's double crochet into the ring. So we're going to wrap our hook just like we always do with a double crochet. Then you're going to take your hook and go right through the ring from front to back. Okay, we're right through it. So now you're going to take your hook and grab some yarn and bring it through that ring just like it's a stitch. Okay, and then we'll just complete our double crochet by wrapping and bringing through 2 loops. And wrap again and bring through the remaining 2 loops. So there's our double crochet into the ring, and there's our first fake double crochet that is made of chains. So let's do another one. So we'll wrap, insert right into that magic ring from front to back. So now we're coming out the back of the magic ring. Get some yarn to bring through the magic ring and complete that double crochet by wrapping, bringing through 2 loops, and wrap again and bring through the remaining 2. So now we have 3 double crochets. So that's how you make the magic ring and start working into the magic ring. So I'm going to make this loop a little bigger so I can take my hook out and show you how this ring actually goes down. So you have to kind of sometimes keep some tension on these 2 as you pull this strand so that it doesn't just pull one of the 2 strands, it needs to pull both of them. So kind of keep your fingers in there and then pull on your tail. And you can see if you keep your fingers in there, it will work both strands of the magic ring down at the same time and not just pull one, leaving the other one like a big loop to stick out. So then you just pull on that, trying to help it to work down evenly. See there, it wants to take just one at a time. So you got to help it work down both of them if you want both, and it'll go all the way down to nothing. If you don't want to deal with the two wraps, you can go back into your magic ring with just one. I'll show you how to do that. That's fine too. It's just slightly less to it, so I guess slightly weaker. But oops. There we go. So to do it with just one, so you don't have to deal with that possibility later, take the 2 fingers and throw the tail behind, over the back, bring it forward and throw it over the back again. So now we just have 2 wraps here. 1 and 2, bring that forward and hold it down. Then we'll take our hook and go in from the fingertip side, grab the one by the palm and pull it through the other one, like that. So then we have to get this working yarn up, so use your thumb or whatever you need to do to flick that working yarn up. It's the working yarn, not the tail, so that your hook can grab it and chain with it, and that secures the magic ring. So now you have a magic ring just like before, but this one only has 1 strand instead of 2. So let's work into it. So let's make 2 chains to make our first fake double crochet. Now let's do a real double crochet into it, so keep your fingers in there to keep it intact. Wrap the hook, put the hook in from front to back through the magic ring, grab some yarn through to the front, and then just complete that double crochet by wrapping and bringing through 2 loops, and wrapping and bringing through the other 2 loops. Okay, looks good. And then if we were done and we were ready to tighten this down, just pull that 1 strand. You don't have to deal with the 2 that want to not come together, so that's a little simpler way to do it. Then I do have to warn you with the magic ring, you can't just leave it like this. It's not like a slip knot where it really is a knot. You need to tie a knot with this. So if you made your amigurumi or granny square or whatever where you started with the magic ring in the center and you don't then secure this, this will eventually open up and you'll have a hole up here, and then you'll have to tighten everything back down and you might lose stitches and stuff. So then what you need to do once you're done and you've tightened down that magic ring, just thread your tail through a large eye tapestry needle and just loop it in under here, just anywhere, and then bring it through itself like that so you can tie a real knot, maybe a couple real knots, and then weave your tails in going multiple directions just to make sure that's really secure, because those central magic rings, they have everything pulling on them, so if you don't really tighten them down, they will come back out. So that's that. We did the slip knot, we did the magic ring with either 1 strand or 2 strands. And the slip knot we use in most situations where it's a back and forth in rows type deal. Most knitting starts with a slip knot, and most crochet starts with a slip knot when you go in a foundation row afterwards. Then when you're doing crochet in the round where you want that hole to completely disappear, that's when you would use the magic ring. So I hope that was helpful to you. Just let me know if you have any more questions about the magic ring or slip knot, or anything else you would like me to talk about. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if it was helpful to you, and please give my channel a subscribe. See you next time.